Services Committee. If I can have a motion to approve the minutes from the prior committee meeting. Mr. McGowan,
I'll second it.
Mrs. Frazier, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thanks. The first department we're going to hear from is Veteran Services, and Denise DeResta has someone. If you just come to the podium or one of the individual microphones, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. So just in case not everybody knows, my name's Denise DeResta. I'm the Warren County Veterans Director. And we're here today first to introduce Nicole Trottier. She became the peer-to-peer program coordinator on April 13th of this year. And I just want to run down a little bit of history regarding Nicole. Nicole is from San Diego, California. She currently lives in Hadley, Luzerne with her retired Marine Corps husband and 3 children. Nearly 15 years of federal service experience working alongside the military. She has a bachelor's and master's in public health from National University. Current student at Capella University for clinical mental health counseling. Extensive community and leadership work throughout San Diego County. She's a former advisory board member at Cal State San Marcos Graduate Public Health Program. A former vice president for San Diego Breastfeeding Coalition, serving multiple counties. Skilled in program creation, evaluation, and sustainability. At this time, I would like Nicole to come up and say hi to everybody and also give you a rundown of the program's past events and future events. Nicole?
Hi, everybody. I'm Nicole. Thanks, Denise, for such a glowing introduction. For anybody who isn't familiar with the Adirondack Peer-to-Peer Veterans Program, it's a Joseph P. Dwyer grant program, and the focus is on connecting veteran peer mentors with veterans in need. Now, all veterans, regardless of discharge status, are allowed and encouraged to participate in our program. However, we do focus on veterans who are at risk for PTSD, homelessness, and suicide. And some of the events that we have held so far, we had a free fishing license event with Dick's Sporting Good. We had about 40 veterans show up. That was just the one that I participated in. Prior to my arrival, Denise had held a couple other fishing license events where they had really huge turnouts. We did some outreach with the Red Cross blood drive. And that was great because we were able to meet and connect with the Elks Lodge in Glens Falls. We have had 2 ruck hikes so far, and those have been really successful and people are excited about those. We try to have 1 hike a month. We've also do Zoom paint meetings with a paint or an art therapist, excuse me. And so the veterans received a package prior to the start. They're once a month with paints and paper, and then we all meet and the therapist holds a Zoom class. It's really great. We also have had 1 veterans group meet up at our Salem Veterans Room. There's a room in Salem and it was looking a little rough, and we gave it a little facelift with some nice patriotic furniture. And so that's a great place for veterans to meet, and also for Washington County VSO to meet with veterans down in that area. And just to kind of rewind really quick, our program covers Warren and Washington County. And so some events that we're having in the future, tomorrow we're having another donut date at the Elks Lodge. We will be at Food Truck Friday, this Friday at Washington County Fair. We've got a Step Up for PTSD Awareness Walk on the 27th at the Warren County Bike Path. Another Zoom paint July 1st, and then our July Pilot Knob Ridge hike. Some things that we've got in the works is creating training for our mentors, We're working with the Washington County Fair. They're going to put on a really big Military Appreciation Day on August 26th. It's going to be really great. It's free for active duty, veterans reduced price. Kids happen to be free that day too, so it's great for family attendance. We're working on some relationships with equine therapy in the area and a free counseling service, Hicks Strong. They're based out of Clifton Park. And that's some of the stuff that we have going on right now. Question.
Supervisor McGowan?
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Thank you, Chairman. I just want to welcome you aboard. What an introduction. For one, I have to say, from San Diego to Luzerne, holy mackerel, that's quite a transition there. So I hope you took the long trail over and enjoyed the trip here. But that's quite an event. But I have to say, I have to be reading my Adirondack Life, and I saw this Veterans Outreach program they have up north.
Okay.
Canoeing, camping,
Mm-hmm.
and I just happened to see it, I don't know, last night or I think last night or whatever, I stumbled through it over the weekend. And I just found that so interesting. It's a, veterans group, and there's, they have different activities, and it could be canoeing or, an outing, a camping outing could be, or both. And it looked from the picture, everybody in it had a big smile on their face. Yeah. But it kind of stated how it helps them and bring in the group. So, but I want to thank you both. It's our vets have they've endured things that we haven't, and all we can do to help them, in my opinion, is the first thing in order. But that outreach program, and I'll have to, I'll think that I just saw it in the Adirondack Light. So.
I was just going to ask you if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, you have it?
Over.
I have some of our information for anybody in person today who would like to grab a copy. And if you want some more information about the program, you can just send me an email directly, info at adkpeer2peer.org. And I can send out information. We would love if you guys can reach out to your veteran and military constituents and, population community. It's really what the program is about, is just bringing the veteran and military community together, bringing those resources together, in one place. So the more people we get involved in the program, the better and more successful the program becomes. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions or comments for Denise or Nicole? Okay. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you and good luck with all of the programs. And we look forward to hearing of some fun and exciting programs in the future, and certainly encourage members of the Board of Supervisors to share that information with their local veterans organizations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for having us.
Thanks.
Could she just put them on the front desk here?
Yeah, that would be great.
Oh, yeah,
And
we
we'll
can pick them up on the way out. Thank you.
Next, I see that we have Amy McBurn from Countryside Adult Home on Zoom. And I will ask Amy if she will address, I think there's just one action agenda item. Certainly some discussion maybe after that. But good afternoon, Amy. Would you like to discuss the request to renew service agreement with Mahoney Alarms at an annual cost of $1,669 for regular maintenance and $1,000 not to exceed amount for unplanned repairs as mandated by the New York State Department of Health?
Yes, it's exactly that. We're only needing to renew the contract just because our current one's expiring. It's gone up a little bit to the $1,669. And then I always like to put a little bit of money in case we have something unplanned. Hopefully we won't, but it's better to be prepared. And they monitor the fire alarm system quarterly or charges quarterly, and then it's the cave extinguishers that they do semi-annually. It's pretty straightforward.
Do I have a motion to bring that to the floor, please? Supervisor McGowan,
Second.
Supervisor Frazier on the second. Any more discussion or questions for Amy? All in favor? Say aye. Opposed? Thank you. So carried. If you could do your census and overtime reports, that would be great.
Sure. Census is currently 35. I just started last week doing in-person tours and evaluations. I felt with the vaccination rates as high as they were, we were good to go. And since the Department of Health is allowing us to let people in because of vaccination, it seemed like a good time. So I am booked straight up for all of Wednesday. People are really coming in and very interested in Countryside. So I'm feeling very positive about that. Just keep moving forward.
Great. Thank you. And overtime?
Overtime, this last pay period that you're looking at was the holiday. So other than the holiday, there was no other overtime. So that gave us 87.58. But the payroll that I just did was 2.3 hours of overtime for 80 for all the employees. So pretty commendable.
Great. No other referrals or pending items. Privilege of the floor. Anyone from the board, or I don't know if Mr. Lehman is still on, to anyone calling in from the public.
Hi, Chairman Driscoll. Nothing on YouTube as of now.
Thanks, Don. Supervisor McGowan?
Thank you, Chairman. Amy, just a question. How are the visiting opening up? I went and visited my aunt the other week at 96 over here at the Warren Center that I hadn't seen in a year, and it was very exciting to see her. Unfortunately, it was way too long, and at 96, it was a little sad. But I was just, how are the visitings going on up there, and was it a good rate of flow of people coming in and seeing their loved ones?
We do, and we actually have the ability. The Department of Health said, we can let our residents go out and be with families. So we see a lot of that. And we have visitation every day, 7 days a week from 1 to 4. And then we do an hour in the evening. So people who have to work during the day have that opportunity to come see a loved one.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Thank you. There being no other business for Countryside, thank you again, Amy. Enjoy the rest of the day and week. And we will move on to Warren County Department of Social Services. And I see Commissioner Chris Hanchett, who is joining us via Zoom. Good afternoon, Chris.
Good afternoon, everyone.
We've got some
Good afternoon.
some requests to amend table of organization, creating some positions, notices of intent. If you would like to walk us through those. I do want to make one point, though, in reviewing the job descriptions that were attached to your packets, and I've spoken to the chairwoman, I've spoken to Human Resources about this. 3 positions that are included in your packet. One of the positions, the job description was adopted in May of 2005, another one in January of 2000, and a third was amended in February of 2017. As I understand it, the county is very interested in going back and reviewing some of these job descriptions. Certainly the duties and responsibilities and just the nature of business for a lot of our departments has evolved and changed over the years. So we want to make be as up to date as we can. And I think that Chris will talk a little bit about that. So I think the first is to create a position of caseworker part-time, temporary grade 16, base salary of $43,390. Do I first need a motion to bring that to the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah, Supervisor McGowan,
Second.
Mrs. Frazier, thank you. Chris, if you could discuss that one with us, please.
Sure, thank you. We obviously have had quite a bit of turnover, like every other county, in our child services units. We quite often list quickly. And one of the things that we do occasionally have is openings that are temporary, based on like maternity leave or illness. So years ago, we had a part-time temporary caseworker position in our org chart. What we would like to do is just add that back in, so that when we do have these openings that are temporary, we can have someone help us out. With that said, I had mentioned, the obvious fact that we do have a lot of openings in these positions. And I'll be, asking to fill some of those positions as we go forward, because we're going to have a couple more over the next couple of months. But one of the things that happens is that they have to be trained for a long period of time before they can take on certain cases, especially CPS cases. So if we have people out there that may be retired, they may have left the agency but might be interested in some part-time work, this is a big help to the department, because they're already trained. They can take cases, from day one, even if it's part-time, temporary. It's a big help to us. So we are asking to bring this position back into our org chart. It is part-time, so there would be no benefits. It's also temp, so these are not permanent positions. But it would be a position that we would actually add to our org chart so that it would be an option for us. You had also mentioned the review of case job descriptions, and some of them haven't been updated in a long time. I actually met with Trish Nenninger last week and talked a little bit about that with her. The next two positions that we're asking to create is part of that process. So if there's any questions with that, I'll be glad to answer those as well.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Chairman. Chris, I just want to, I think that's a great idea with the part-time and how you explain that, and bringing back a retiree, where don't do, that might be really a good way for to keep us a little bit better staffed, or we can get enough part-timers that want to come in. A lot of people just don't want to do that 40 hours anymore. So, but a couple hours a week, it likes to get people out of the house. So, if there's any positions, I think that we could do that where you could flow, and I think that's a great idea. And then that way keeps down a little bit of the overhead. We don't have to do the training, and there are people in there that know the system. So I want to give you kudos, thumbs up for that plan. So I hope it works out well.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions in regards to that?
So we have a motion to it's on the floor. Supervisor Frazier?
Right, well, Brad made the motion, so if he wants to go along with that, then I can second that motion to do.
Okay, yeah, great.
Yeah, I'll
Got a first and a second. Thank you. So we're going to, the three positions, creating of the three positions, the caseworker part-time, the intake clerk, and the other intake clerk position. All in favor of approval?
Aye.
Any against? Okay, so moved.
hang on.
Oh,
Chairman,
yes.
just to clarify.
Okay.
it's deleting and adding. It
Yeah, yeah, I'm
wasn't
sorry.
two.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah,
two.
yeah.
I just.
yeah, right, I'm sorry, yeah.
Well, it's,
The
no,
two
to me,
resolutions.
it's for the people that, you know,
Yes, okay, great.
might not see it, so.
Yeah, you're absolutely
Deleting
certain.
and
So
adding.
it's only two positions, but we're deleting one and adding another.
Right.
So thank you. And then we have the request permission to pay out of title, pay for principal social welfare examiner grade 15 due to an extended leave of absence affecting ASAP. Chris?
Chairman Driscoll, if I could just step back to those two of those personnel requests. I just want to clarify a couple things on those. Part of our thoughts on those were that we're going to try to delete positions as they become open. If they're positions that are kind of obsolete, these KBS, keyboard specialist positions, are more just like a typist position. They're a grade 3. The intake clerk is a grade 4. These positions are going to be helpful, not only with hiring people to fill the positions, but also in respect to promotion fields and the ability for workers to be in a position that could allow them to move to other units within the department. So the cost is very minimal on those. As you can see, it's a 3 to a 4. So I just wanted to explain that a little bit more as well. The out of title pay position for principal social welfare examiner is due to a leave of absence. We actually just got word that this particular staff will be out through at least the end of July. And it's in a pretty busy unit, so we really need to have someone step in and do the supervision in that unit because it's kind of been a shared load, but we do have a great need to have someone just specifically do some certain functions for that job because the person that is out will actually not be here at all until at least the first week of August minimum. So it's going to be quite an extended period of time at this point.
And the other notices of intent, if you could touch upon those, please.
Should we handle one at a time?
Yeah, we'll do one at a time.
Yes, the
No, actually, we'll do one at a time.
so you want to discuss the
You need a motion.
you
for
want to
that?
discuss
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
a
okay.
motion.
Okay, I'll make the
Yeah.
motion then to pay for the pay out of title pay.
Okay,
I'll
and Mr.
second.
McGowan, second. Okay, Sylvia, Mrs. Smith, on the second.
Darn it.
I
Okay,
forgot.
Sylvia, you
Okay.
win.
I'm just trying to, in the absence of time, but let's do it
worries.
the right way too. All in favor of approval of the out of title principal social welfare examiner position, say aye.
I
Aye.
All those opposed? So moved. Okay, the notice of intent to fill the social welfare examiner number 9, grade 8, due to retirement, effective August 2nd of 2021. Chris?
Yeah, thanks. And my apologies. I was getting cut off here. The audio portion of my Zoom was cutting in and out, but it seems to be okay now. The social welfare examiner number 9 is due to retirement. That's happening on August 2nd. Actually before August 2nd, but the nearest time that we can fill it is August 2nd. So that's a retirement, which is, always a nice thing to see someone finish out their career here, and it opens up a nice position for someone to be promoted to. Do you want to move on to the second intent to fill for intake clerk, or
Yep.
what would you like to do, Chairman?
Okay.
Okay.
No, let's take the second one. A motion to bring that to the floor.
make the motion.
Frazier, Mrs. Smith on the second. Okay. So all in favor of approval of the examiner number 9 position, say aye. Opposed? So moved. Okay. Now we've got the notice of intent to fill position of intake clerk, reception/heap, grade 4, due to promotion, vacancy effective June 22nd of this year. Chris?
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory on that one as well. It's due to a promotion. So we're hoping to be able to fill that position. Obviously, this is a dual role position between reception and the heap spot. It's quite busy, even year round these days. So we hope to fill that one as well, with your blessing. Thank you.
Which usually ends in April, has been extended to the end of September too, so that there may be some more work is involved with that.
Mhm.
Motion to bring that to the floor.
I'll make the
Mr.
motion.
Frazier, Mr. McGowan or Mr. Smith?
Well, make
Okay,
a
Mr.
motion.
McGowan, okay. All in favor of approving that, say aye.
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 Any opposed? So moved. So we've got information for discussion or review items. Chris, why don't you take it from here, and then we'll get to, is Julie with us this afternoon?
I believe
am.
she is.
Okay,
Yeah, she's
so let's
there.
get to the discussion items, and then we'll hear the finance report. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, I just have, I have two items here just for some updates. As I believe everyone here knows, we've been looking at trying to improve our youth bureau in Warren County. We are really making good progress working with Mike Gray in Washington County to merge with them. I think it would be a great benefit for the county, the youth, and the towns in Warren County. There would be absolutely no change in the funding that goes to the individual towns, yet we would end up with a lot more services that would be available through Mike Gray. Some of the things that we're looking at expanding would be programming within first aid, CPR training for the recreation program staffs, lifeguard training, which is a very big thing, especially in Warren County, with all the hotels, motels, beaches. Tourism is really, the last couple of years, with the tourism in the area, we've noticed that there has been a lack of lifeguards for these places. So this would be a benefit for the community as well, and for businesses. Safe sitter training, paraeducation classes, restorative justice programs and practices, community restoration, and school-based programming, Alive at 25, distracted driving classes, adventure-based activities, and a number of other things that we could work on together and really bolster and improve the Youth Bureau programs for Warren County. The other update is, as I believe most of you know, we are looking at our IT situation here at DSS, and a lot of the programs, platforms, applications that we use are quite old. And one of the things that we need to do is start upgrading that. It's going to take a few years to get to where we need to be, but we really need to start now. So this year we really have received a lot of help and input from our IT department. So thank you to those guys. We have so far made some really good headway with our online calendaring systems. And right now we're working on a new accounting software through Brisbane Consulting, which looks very promising. Both of these items, the Youth Bureau program merger and the IT stuff, we are going to be able to work that into our budget for 2022. So it's not going to be really a big budget issue, and we will seek permissions at those times when we go over our budget with all the respective people that are involved. So thank you for that. Are there any questions?
Great. Thank you very much, Chris. And just report of activities and updates. The week before this meeting, I asked Chris to kind of put together a one-page fact sheet of his activities, the activities of the department, and I think that went out Friday. Some of the members, probably all the members that got my email, didn't receive an attachment, which was a breakdown of the emergency rental assistance program based on zip codes. It looks like 80% of the 82 households that have already signed up for that as of, I think, last Thursday or Friday morning for residents of either Glens Falls or Queensbury. That's not surprising, but there are numbers from other communities throughout the county. So thanks for sending that information, Chris. Does,
Oh, you're welcome. They've been very busy with that. And it's, it's going to be a great benefit, especially for not only the people that are, suffering from, fiscal problems in their homes due to COVID, but to the landlords who really need to recoup this money. It's been really tough on landlords as well, who obviously have to pay mortgages while not getting rent in some cases. So this will be helpful.
Right. Any other questions for Chris? I just have one brief announcement. I've invited Mr. Don Franks just to share some information with us about an event that's going to take place in the Tri-County region and beyond in September of this year. And Mr. Franks, if you'd like to come to the podium, introduce yourself, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
My own little computer here. Okay, first of all, my name is Don Franks, and I'm a resident of Glens Falls. And the reason why I'm here is Ben asked me to come by and tell you about a free clinic that I've been working on for about the last 4 years, and it's going to happen in the first weekend in October at the Washington County Fairgrounds. And even though it's billed as a free medical clinic, the medical part of it is probably the least important part of it at all. It also does free dental work, either free cleanings, fillings, or extractions, and they're all paid for. The real impressive thing is the vision aspect. The clinic has recruited doctors to examine your eyes, write a prescription. Then you go to a table and pick out your frames that you want. They grind the lenses to fit the prescription, put them in the frames, and you walk out with a free pair of glasses. And this is all free. I'm working with a nonprofit in Tennessee. It's called Remote Area Medical, but everyone calls them RAM. So it's the RAM Clinic, and it will be the first weekend in October. And it's a full-day clinic on Saturday, half-day clinic on Sunday, and it's first come, first served. They do ask whether or not you're insured, but regardless of what your answer is, you'll be seen regardless. It's designed for people who are either uninsured or underinsured, and everything is paid for. If we get enough donations, we will also be feeding them at the same time. It takes probably about 200 volunteers, including all the equipment that comes up from Tennessee, and it will be a free clinic. And if there are any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. By the way, I also brought along, and I'll put them out here on the table, I brought along a flyer on the clinic. There's more information.
And we'll make sure that all of the supervisors receive a copy of that.
That's notification of the clinic in English. There's a notification of the clinic in Spanish. And also a fact sheet on RAM, what they've done in the past. They've been running these pop-up clinics around the world since 1985. And they're a very good organization. And like I say, they're a nonprofit and everything is free for the patient.
Thank you very much, Don. And if I can ask, in addition to putting them in supervisors' mailboxes, if you could email me the documents that you brought over today, I'll see that the entire board also get them sent to them electronically. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Is there any other business before the committee?
Quite a program.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I just wanted to take a moment and say that I had an opportunity to read the 2020 report that put together and that we sign off on for the annual county plan update for the Child Protective Services. And just that this annual update was incredibly informative. I just wanted to compliment how hard both DSS and our CPS division has been working. And it was very enlightening. I've never had to sign one of these reports, review it, and I'll make sure a copy is sent over to you, Ben. But just to let you know, Commissioner, that that's impressive, all the hard work that's going into our community and advocacy for our youth. So thank you.
I appreciate that, and thank you to the department. I've been
Yeah,
involved.
thank you for those kind words.
I've been involved in not-for-profits and government type of stuff for almost 40 years, and it's amazing how much paperwork that departments have to do, in addition to doing, the nuts and bolts of their duties and responsibilities. I think there's bureaucrats who just basically make a living reading reports and signing off on them or rejecting them. But yeah, kudos to all of our departments, especially Department of Social Services. So thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Frazier.
Well, you're
We're
not going to
adjourned.
do budgets?
Oh, I'm sorry. Jeez. Julie, I'm sorry.
Getting to work today.
Yeah, I know.
Repent.
I apologize for the omission. Julie, could you give us a rundown on the finances of the Department of Social Services, please?
Good afternoon. As far as our revenue and expenditures through the 5th month of the year, we're in really good shape, both expenses and revenue. The revenue is actually coming in pretty good on a monthly basis without taking 20% anymore. So we're in pretty good shape. And then for our overtime, if you compare it to last year, it does look high because we just didn't have the reports during COVID that we have this year and the shortage of staff. Hopefully that part-time caseworker will help a little bit with that.
Does anyone have any questions for the finance director? Again, in reviewing your report, it's self-explanatory. It's easy for people who aren't big budget type of people to understand and make sense of. So I appreciate your efforts there. Now I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Mrs. Frazier and Mr. McGowan, thank you very much. Be safe, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the week. A bunch of us will be back here tomorrow doing the county's business. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. My computer died. It died.